met my wife, Carrie, and then a year after our marriage, the wool got pulled out from underneath me. I got diagnosed with cancer. So I go to this radiologist. He said, the problem with the radiation, he goes, in 15 years, he goes, you'll start having some issues. So I recommend you get surgery. So here I go to a radiologist thinking I'm gonna put things to my side, and the Lord had me go do surgery. And we'll go do the surgery, and they come out and they said cancer was more aggressive than they said it was here. But they felt like they got it all, but I'd have to get tested every 3 months. 6 months comes along, get tested, and cancer came back. And I didn't really understand. I did what the Lord wanted. I just didn't understand. And frankly, I was angry because if I'd have got radiated, they'd have radiated around the organ, and they would have got what leftover cancer was left behind. So I called Pastor Greer up and I was like, do you mind getting some elders of the church, and do you even have anybody that's got the gift of healing? And he set up an appointment with me and him and Jim Adams, and they prayed over me. So I go to the doctor's office and I'm getting ready to go over my list with him, and he said, wait a minute. He goes, let's do some more testing, because I need to see how aggressive it is, see how much it's changed the last 2 weeks. So he leaves to go get the nurse to run some tests, and I just lay out on the ground in the doctor's office, and I just said, Lord, place my blood with your perfect blood and my organs with your perfect organ. And it was just a very intense prayer. So they run some tests, and he comes back and he goes, I don't see any cancer. Cancer is not there. I found out from a friend of mine he had pancreatic cancer and that he was dying. We never talked about God. I didn't even know if he was saved, and the whole time I didn't think he was saved. I just didn't know. So I was like, Lord, I'm sorry. I never talked about it. If he's not saved, give me one more chance to bring him to you. So when the guy left, I called, and sure enough it rang and went to voicemail. I'm like, dang, I had cancer. I know the emotional roller coaster you're going through. If you want to talk to somebody, I'm here. And he immediately called me back. The first words in his mouth was, hey, I didn't know you had cancer. And I was like, yeah, and we kind of did a little bit of small talk, and I got right to the point. I said, dang, do you know Jesus, and do you know where you're gonna go when you die? And he was quiet. And he came back and said, honestly, I don't know. I don't know if I really believe that. And I was like, well, I know. I said, I don't just believe, I know. In fact, I'm gonna come prove it to you. I said, where are you? Well, he was in Houston, Texas. I drive down there with another guy from Journey Church, and we walked inside, and I present all my stuff. I probably went over for about an hour. And I looked at him and I said, do you believe? And he's like, you know, he goes, I told the Lord if you're willing to drive 4 hours, I believe. And he goes, all you had to do was show up, and I believed. He goes, yes, I believe. The last thing I heard from him was, I know I'm dying, but I have this unbelievable peace about it, and I'm okay. And a few days later, he died. The Lord was that merciful for both of us. So you can't tell me that God doesn't care.